And hello. Welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast on a Tuesday. It's now on a Tuesday. This is us here. If you're watching live, if you're watching it on a Wednesday, then that's completely incorrect. But live, we're here on a Tuesday. Welcome to everybody. Twitter isn't working at the minute. Don't know why, but we're on YouTube or Twitch if you want to watch us live. So we are there. And when I mean we as in three. There's three of us with so much to cover tonight. FA Cup, there's live Premier League. We'll get to all of that. For someone who's had an amazing weekend, Rebecca, welcome to the first Premier League pod of 2025 for you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Still recovering a bit from Saturday. I completely lost my voice from screaming, but I think it was all worth it in the end. Yeah, it was a very, very eventful Saturday to be an Accrington fan, let's just say that.
It was indeed. So if you're not aware, Rebecca, of course, Accrington fan at Anfield for the Liverpool game, the FA Cup game. We'll touch on that briefly, but of course, Rebecca is also on our lower league crew on a Thursday, and they're going to be delving into the FA Cup. They're certainly going to be delving into lots and lots of the FA Cup. And it's not just me and Rebecca. There's another man with us. For the second week in a row, 2 weeks running, Mr. Grimmy. How are we doing, Mr. Grimmy?
All right, yeah, 2 weeks back to back. I feel like it's probably a good run. To be fair, let's see if we can make it 50. No, I'm good. I'm now less stressed out than I was going into the match on Sunday. I think my stress levels have now started to balance back out after the Sunday game. So yeah, doing pretty well. Thanks. How are you?
I'm not too bad, as you say, and we'll come on to that. We've had 2 weeks of not devastation as United fans. This is so we've timed being on the pod and very good times to have 2 weeks in a row. I mean, that's just incredible for us. But we will get onto all of that. Just trying to sort some stuff out where Twitter's not working in the background. So don't bear with me if I'm living with it. We've got Graham. Graham's in the chat. Hello to Graham. Graham is doing a bit of video printer for us today because there's lots of football going on at the minute. It's currently Preston 1, Charlton 1. Very good first half for us against Championship opposition. Very good value for the draw. So it's crazy that we're still doing FA Cup as well this late into the week.
Weird, isn't it?
But there we go. It's that kind of week with the football. And talking of the football, there is Premier League currently live going on at the minute. And if I've got the latest scores, I will pop them up at the bottom. Here they come. If you're listening on audio and you've watched the games already, then this is not a surprise. You know where this is going. But Brentford 0, Man City 0, Chelsea 1, Bournemouth 0, West Ham 2, Fulham 0, and Nottingham Forest 1, Liverpool 0. The FPL cheat code, Chris Wood is at it again so far. And of course, Rebecca wants us to know Dundee 0, Celtic 1. It's not over. It's not over for Dundee. Good things can happen. Good things can certainly happen. Sean is here as well. Says Mr. Grimmy. You're more like Mr. Smiley. And also good evening. Look at that, Grimmy.
Thank you, Sean. Hello. I try to smile because I got told from Josh the first time I came on I looked like a miserable bugger. So trying to be a bit more cheerful.
Cheerful, bigging it up. Graham says it's like the absolute soccer special tonight. Reporters everywhere. And Smith and Chris says, wait, this is the wrong stream. I don't know what you're talking about. I think we're probably on the wrong stream. Yeah, I think we are on the wrong stream. I think I've clicked a different button and it says something else. But never mind. Today is chaos. We'll fix it afterwards. But as we're here, we're doing Premier League. So it is Premier League. We'll talk Premier League, and I want to go to Rebecca first because there's been some massive goings on in Everton. Although I think she's frozen, so we might not go to Rebecca first.
It's all happening on a Tuesday.
It's all happening on a Tuesday. There's so much going on. So Grimmy, I'll come to you instead. We won't go to Everton first. Shall we go to a team that are currently 2-0 up at the minute in West Ham United? We're going to talk new managers first.
Yes.
I think we hinted last week, didn't we, that there was a man that was possible to be the man, and it's Mr. Graham Potter. What's your reaction to Mr. Graham Potter at West Ham?
Yeah, I think it's a great appointment, really, for West Ham. I think it's someone that's going to stabilise things, bring a bit more of a simpler approach to the way they play, which probably will help the players reset and start the season off again on the right foot. Like you're saying, they're 2-0 up against Fulham. I think they lost to Villa in the end, I think, in the FA Cup. Did they?
They did indeed. Yes, they did indeed.
Yeah. They were 1-0 up because I remember I was watching it and then I left the house and I came back and they were losing. And I was like, I shouldn't have left my seat. So yeah, but no, I think in overall it's a great appointment. Obviously, it wasn't working under Lopetegui, so they kind of had to make a decision sooner rather than later if they were going to save the season, really.
This is it. They did have to make that change. It looked like, and we said last week it was inevitable. It was going to happen. We were expecting it was going to happen, and they were all. Potter was already waiting in the wings, ready to go. An FA Cup game gives him kind of a start, doesn't it? It's a bit of a free hit for that first one. And so far, as I say so far, because it's mid-game, they're 2-0 up in his first Premier League game. So the new manager bounce strikes again. Rebecca, you're back with us. You've returned. So we've swiveled a little bit. So don't talk Everton just yet. But West Ham had Graham Potter in. What do you make of the whole Lopetegui out, Potter in situation?
I mean, for me, it's an interesting appointment for West Ham. Like, we saw how well Graham Potter did when he was at Brighton. I mean, at the time, I think he got the highest finish in the top 10 in the club's history, which has now changed. But when he was there, he was able to do that. And then we saw him go to Chelsea, where he did seem to struggle. So it will be interesting to see how he does slot into the West Ham role, especially being out of a job for a bit. But he seems to be proving it tonight. And I think it was about time that West Ham made the decision, because it was only a matter of time before things did start going worse than they were for him.
As you said, it was going particularly one way with Lopetegui, and it just didn't seem to kind of click, and they couldn't find a way to get any kind of consistency and a really big run. What do you think? What do you think Potter can do with him, considering that we do have January? There is potentially stuff that they could do. They're currently in 14th before the end of tonight. So where do you think West Ham, where can they get to, Rebecca? What heights could they hit?
I mean, we've seen what Graham Potter can do with signings previously. I mean, like the money that he was able to get when he was at Brighton for selling players and also buying them in, he did it quite well. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in January. But I think that it's going to be like a 15th, 14th finish. I don't think they're going to be pushing for top 10. But in saying that, don't trust my predictions at all.
Well, you never know. There's a lot to go. Grimmy, for you, where do you think West Ham will see a bit of a rise now under Potter for the rest of the season? Is top half a possibility?
I mean, with how crammed tight it is in that sort of middle pack, anything's really possible if they get a good run together. I think I agree with what Rebecca's saying about that sort of 14th spot is probably where I would put them. But like Rebecca said, I don't think you can trust anyone's predictions on this podcast based on how the first half of the season has gone when we looked at the tables last week. So, yeah.
This is true. We, as proved last week when we went through our predictions, we didn't do too well. We haven't done too well, but that's what we live for. There's been a goal. There's been a goal for Bournemouth at Chelsea. A penalty. They've had a few penalties this season. I remember Heather saying last season they never got a penalty. I'm pretty sure they're top of the table charts for penalties all the other day. They had
Justin Clivert took it probably.
He probably was on the bench. I think came on. So they've had. This is their 7th penalty this season. So last season they've clearly had all their 2 seasons in one season. Heather, you've earned it, you see. And Sean does confirm it is Clivert. Great penalty taker that he is. Spenny fan Chris confirms Clivert. So we've had it double confirmed. So it must be true. It must be true.
And yet you're telling me he was on the bench.
Oh wow, he was. He's now on.
Oh,
things have changed, and also I've had my phone's pinged and said, well, Jimenez has just scored for Fulham as well. Apparently 2-1 to West Ham Fulham. So we've just been bigging West Ham up, and now it looks like troubles are brewing. Troubles afoot again.
Okay, so the pod strikes again.
But where trouble is, it's no longer brewing, Rebecca. Things are looking up. Things are looking up on the blue side of Merseyside. Surely, finally, tell me what's been going on with Everton, because quite a lot's been happening since we spoke to you about Everton.
Yes, David Moyes is back at Everton, which I am very happy about. It was 3 hours before kick-off in our FA Cup tie against Peterborough that they announced the sacking of Sean Dyche. It was more the timing of everything. Oh, Dundee have just scored. Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Is there any chance it's Ryan Ashley?
It's not. There's still time. Okay, so back to Everton. So it was announced 3 hours before kickoff that Dyche was going to be sacked. It was the timing of it that confused Everton fans. Like we expected the announcement, but not 3 hours before kick-off, especially when he took training that day. He was at Finch Farm and everything was seeming to be going how it should be. And then the announcement came. I do have to say I was over the moon to see Leighton Baines pick up match. As an Everton fan, I think that's every Everton fan's dream, to see them to manage Everton at Goodison. It does scare me though, is this what we're going to be expecting when it comes to like Seamus Coleman next season? So it's like, I think every Everton fan use that to prepare themselves for the heartbreak of his retirement whenever it comes. I do think it was time for the change. I mean, I've been on the podcast many times saying that the form hasn't been what it should be. And just the comments Dash was coming out with towards the end, I think everyone's heard the one of, yeah, we're on a pretty good run if you add wins to it. But we didn't add wins to it and we can't go back and add wins to it. So there were just like a lot of things that he'd come out and say which did turn Everton fans against him. I do have to say fair play to him for what he did with Everton, especially last season. I mean, facing 2 points deductions, he still kept us up. We didn't win for 3 months in the league, but still survived. So fair play to him for that. We won the Merseyside derby, so there were some positives with him. And now we have David Moyes returning to Everton. And it does feel like we are now getting Everton back. There was no mention of there's like such and such back on the grass, which is everything we heard from every Sean Dyche press conference. It was all very much like we and us and the target that Moyes has for Everton. At the moment, I think his backroom staff consists of Leighton Baines, which is exciting. He's just going for people that he knows at the club at the minute to settle himself back in before he then looks at bringing in a different backroom set of staff. So it is an interesting one at Everton. First match for Moyes will be against Villa. Is it Villa tomorrow?
I think tomorrow it's Villa. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're at home. So get a full Goodison behind Moyes and the squad. It can be a very interesting match, and hopefully we can at least get a draw from it. A win would be perfect for his first match back, but I do feel as though every Everton fan is happy with this appointment because we are now seeing the Everton that we know and love hopefully come back. And it's quite fitting, the fact that David Moyes will see us out of Goodison and into Bramley Moor.
That's a good point, actually. I'd not thought of that. I suppose having that kind of return to that glory, that connection between Moyes and the fans. And I remember, Everton and Dyche are a whole different prospect. Not Dyche, sorry. Everton and Dyche were a different prospect. But Everton and Moyes, certainly a very different. Goodison Park was a very difficult place to go to. Obviously, he's inherited a very different team, and that's going to take a bit of time. But you would imagine that kind of feel-good factor is back. What do you remember so much of Moyes from the initial era, Rebecca? You would caught just about the end of it?
Yeah, it wasn't as stressful as the many relegation battles that we've been in recently, and it was like a bit of a, let's say, happier time for Everton, like pushing for top 10, Europe as well. And it's just one of them where it's where Everton should be, and it's where we're hoping to be. It's one of them, we shouldn't be in another relegation battle this year and this season. Look at Forest. I know like you can't really compare us to like a lot, but they were in the exact same position as us last season with a points deduction down at the bottom fighting for relegation. They're currently sitting second in the Premier League, where I think it's like 1 point separating us from relegation. And it's one of them where with Moyes, hopefully, with what we know he can do, what we've seen him do with West Ham when they won Europa Conference, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can get back up to where we should be and where we know we can be.
This is it. As you said, Forest is a good one to kind of compare to because it does show how quickly things can sort of turn. And with the ownership, the stadium, everything suddenly might turn in a completely different direction. Of course, we've had No sanctions today either. No sanctions in the Premier League. But how does it feel to have no points deductions?
I've never felt this. I'm so relieved. I think I put in the group chat hallelujah because it's just one of them. You just expect it at this point, whether we've like gone over or not. You do just expect Everton's name to pop up somewhere within this PSR or FFP breach because it just seems to have haunted us for the past season. So it is going to be good to go into like the rest of the season without the looming of an appeal, 10 points, which then becomes 6 or whatever it was. I'm trying to erase that from my brain, but it doesn't happen. It's always just there. So hopefully without that looming, we can just push on and be where we need to be. And it's half-time 1-1 at Dundee.
It's half-time 1-1 at Dundee. See, just
to finish that little bit of soliloquy there.
just Vinny Printer as well. Just everything's covered with the Rebecca report. There's no doubt. Spenny Fan Chris says yes. Nobody is in trouble with PSR. Obviously, the profit financial ability rules. Everybody at the moment is. I wouldn't say above board because we know that's potentially not the case. There's some outstanding issues that has been mentioned once or twice, but as of today, there's been no official bans. And Graham says no sanctions today to make sure clubs behave. The Premier League will deduct Everton 3 points. It sounds. Rebecca would say it would sound about right. So Grimmy, from a neutral perspective on Everton, the David Moyes appointment, a match made in heaven again.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted Moyes to work out at United when he was managing us, and unfortunately it didn't go that way. And I have a very similar feeling with him going back to Everton. Like, it just feels like it's the right fit, of course, because he was so successful in his first stint. But yeah, I just hope he does really well, especially after how it ended with West Ham both times, really, because both times he was let go by them. It wasn't exactly great circumstances. So yeah, can he get them back to fighting for European places again? I mean, it's going to be a long road ahead if he is, but again, I think it's a bit of positivity, not only for Everton, but for him as well, to have something to go into where he's actually probably going to feel wanted by the fans, where he wasn't for a long time at West Ham towards the end. So yeah, fingers crossed it goes well for him.
This is it. He had that rough stint with United, obviously, but West Ham really has. I think he went off to Real Sociedad as well, and in Spain for a bit. But the West Ham and the Conference League in particular has really kind of cemented him again amongst the English fan base, and obviously for Everton, there's that connection. I still remember the Baines and Fellaini combination causing everybody trouble a few years ago with Tim Cahill as well. That kind of additional sort of threat that he used to have in there, and was a really good team. But he had Everton built on the fact that they were just difficult. They were just difficult to play against. Everton, Goodison Park was always absolutely raucous, very physical. Yep. Everton was very physical with fighting and very difficult to play against, and I think it's the right combination for them. I think it's looking good, but sadly for Graham, it's not looking good in the FA Cup. What's happened, Graham? Another goal for Preston. Is it Osmarjic? Is it Milan Osmarjic? It was either the biter. He was the biter, wasn't he? I think he was suspended earlier in the season, but he's not. He's biting away at Charlton tonight with a double, unfortunately. But Graham, there's time. There is time. We believe. FA Cup goal, Mansfield 0, Wigan. It's all going on. Wigan 1. Wigan 1-0 up at Mansfield as well. I believe that's Asgard. We're going with Asgard in the 48th minute.
It feels wrong there being FA Cup ties on a Tuesday.
It does. It's just so extended, isn't it? Like, because it started on Thursday and it's all the way through to Tuesday. And now, because we've got midweek Premier League games, there's Championship, I think, on tonight as well. National League, I think, is on too. There's just I just need to one competition at a time, please, people. There's only so many things that a podcast can cover. We've got as many shows as we can put on, but it's just so difficult to cover it all. And Sean says Tim Howard, what a player he was. The best side in the Mersey. So there you go. Spenny Fanquist says they were called off and had to be ranged. I know, Spenny Fanquist, that was the case, but they didn't consult the podcast and our schedule first. That should be the first thing that comes to everybody's mind on what's going on with the fixtures with the days we do the podcast. It's completely not fair. But we'll cover whatever you like. So what should we cover next? Should we cover some of the FA Cup? Should we do a bit of FA Cupping?
Yeah.
Let's do a bit of FA Cupping. We're going to focus more on kind of the Premier League side of things. So Shah will take care of all the exciting lower league things. But we have to talk. Tamworth 0, Tottenham 0 at full time, and then it went to...
I was going to say, yeah.
But we're going to stick with Tamworth 0, Tottenham 0, because there will be a discussion about replays on Thursday. I have no doubt about it. So we're sticking with Tamworth 0, Tottenham 0. Rebecca, Tamworth 0, Tottenham 0. I'll take one from Josh for this one. How did that make you feel as an FA Cup lover of that kind of arena?
Well, I'll get my rant more in on Thursday, but there will be a bit of one tonight. Bring back replays. The whole point of the FA Cup is like the magic aspect of it. This replay for Tamworth would have been, I think it was worth 1 million. Their annual revenue is 1.6. So this is that would be Tamworth sorted for a whole, like near enough whole of the season. The players would have been able to play at Tottenham, which I think for anyone to say that would be incredible for them, the fans and everything. And to then take that away from them because of certain teams in the Champions League and all of that, it's one of them. If you've got an issue with replays, don't be as good and get into the Champions League. Just leave it as it is, because it's taking away a lot from the lower league sides. So now we'll move on to Tottenham. It was one of them. It was a difficult watch if you're a Tottenham fan. Fair play to Tamworth. They've held them to what they had to. But it was quite a strong side that came from Tottenham. There wasn't too many changes, I don't think. And it was a very Spurs performance. Especially to say that I think the first goal came from, it was like a scramble on the goal line and it ended up being given as an own goal. So it's like for that to open Tottenham scoring, it just shows that there are many issues. But then to go to Tamworth, I think it is always going to be a very difficult one to go to because of how close the fans are and having the home fans there in support of like the lower league team and everyone backing the underdog story and the big knockout.
It is, and as you said, that's that goal to go to extra time as well. Graham says their Premier League fitness will always show an extra time, and the strength and depth then you've got on the bench as well adds an even, another layer of difficulty if it wasn't kind of difficult enough. We've got an update as well on goals. Goals coming in. Graham says goal Brentford. Spenny Frank Chris says goal Brentford, 1-Man City 0, but Graham says no goal. Damn you, VAR. No goal. It's been ruled out. And Spenny Fan Chris is booing Graham. Is Graham on VAR this evening? Was this your fault, Graham? Was this your doing?
It's just come through on my TNT that City have scored, but it hasn't told me who.
Oh, that's the one to VAR. Surely they've got that completely confused. That must be
wrong way around.
It is the wrong way round, but it was an incredible effort from Tamworth. We'll give that credit, of course. But from a Tottenham perspective, it just adds to the craziness that is their season. That there seems to be a new story every week with some crazy game that they've had. They are in a good position. They have a possibility to make the EFL Cup final. They've got a trip to Anfield yet to negotiate. But Grimmy, Tamworth 0, Tottenham 0. If there was any game that you saw this weekend between a side higher versus lower, that was the one we all kind of went, it would be very Spursy, wouldn't it?
Oh, 100%. Like, you don't expect it, but you kind of do at the same time. Like, when you get Spurs in a away draw like that, you're just thinking something could happen, but it really shouldn't. And then when it's 0-0 at full time, you're thinking, could they? Could they? And then, like Rebecca said, an own goal to open up the account isn't exactly a great look for Spurs. But yeah, it was a very, as Shaw put it last week, feeling very Spursy last week. So yeah, not great.
It wasn't great. And I was getting quite excited myself because I had a free £5 bet to use. And I was like, if we're going to do it, let's go big. Tamworth win. We're going on the Tamworth win. And we're in injury time. I was like, if they could just 25 to 1. Thank you very much. Be very exciting. But no, they did an incredible job. Just of course to get the draw. I mean, and for Tottenham, it was a strong side that's put out as one that should do the job. But it is difficult for some Premier League teams. I remember last season, you remember, Grimmy, that Man United played Newport, and it wasn't at all a walk in the park. And it just adds a dimension that if mentally you're not in kind of the right place, it can catch you out. It's the game of their lives. You've got the fans are close to the pitch. If you're difficult in form, it's one. As a fan, when you play a lower league side, there's no winning in it. You just kind of are like, we just need to get through this, and we have to. And no one's going to credit you for doing anything on that day. You have to be humble and just take the match as it is and kind of get through it. That kind of feels it. And then sometimes the level shows. You saw Man City versus Salford, and it was ridiculous, by the end. But it's just the kind of thing that happens. But I mean, Grimmy, are you a fan of a shock in the FA Cup? Is that something that, from a Blythe Spartans view, I'm sure you had a cup run once upon a year.
Oh yes, we've had a few. Fortunately, none whilst I've been there watching live. But just a quick update: Bournemouth have got a second against Chelsea. Just to make Heather happy. But yeah, in terms of like cup shocks, who doesn't love a cup shock? If you're watching the FA Cup and you want the big team to win, unless you're a supporter of that team, I don't know how anyone could be friends with you, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, Blythe have got a history of cup upsets, and I was very close to seeing one when they played Wrexham a couple of years ago, and they drew 1-1 at Blythe, and then had to go to Wrexham and almost came back from 3-0 down. But even those games have a special memory for me. But I mean, they had one, I think it was like 14, 15 years ago, where they played Blackburn at Blythe Spartans, and then they obviously played Bournemouth when Bournemouth were in League Two, and had all sorts of special memories. Like, that's what the FA Cup's about. It's about those smaller teams going up against the giants, and maybe just having a go when they wouldn't normally get the chance to.
This is it. Spinning Fan Chris says Gainsborough Trinity are the cup upset specialists this season, the FA Cup and the FA Trophy. But as Graham says, we were all Aki and Morecambe on Saturdays, weren't we? I can confirm the group chat on Saturday was off the charts of excitement from Accrington and Morecambe games. I think Rebecca was up at like 2 a.m. It's here, it's today. Let's go. I'm ready now.
I think I put the message in and it was like 12:30. I was like, happy match day.
Tell you what, if Aki had won that match, I would have bought an Aki shirt. I'm telling you now. I'd have had it framed. I'd have had the goal scorer framed and everything on here. It'd have been there and never would have been moved.
We'd all have our Aki shirts on for this evening, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
So it was a incredible effort from Tamworth. Elsewhere in the FA Cup, plenty was going on, and plenty was going on. Grimmy, we get to talk about Arsenal and Manchester United. Off the back of a draw at Liverpool, which was unexpected. Then what a game at Arsenal, who had a long time against 10 men. And what a game. We'll skirt through the first half because not a lot happened really in the first half. It was kind of a bit sort of standoffy and cagey. But the second half, it all went off. What happened in that second half, Grimmy?
I think they all had a cup of orange juice at half time and decided let's have a go, shall we, lads? It had a bit of everything. It was like it had that feel of an old Arsenal Man United game of yesteryear where they were at each other having a go. I mean, there was even a scrap around the penalty box when Maguire conceded penalty. It just felt like a proper Arsenal Man United rivalry match. And after 60 minutes, I was on tenterhooks and I was sweating quite profusely because I thought there's no way we're making this out of this alive. But I tell you what, we certainly put in a shift. And whilst, yes, we did give them a couple of golden chances, they didn't put them away. So we rode a look a little bit, but for the most part of those 60 minutes when we had 10 men, I think we defended really well.
I agree. I think they defended extremely well, and against, particularly say from that 10-men position, they're always going to create chances against your 10 men because the space is there. But I thought the fact that they stayed well and they stayed well in the game and competitive. I mean, even going back to the Arsenal Premier League game, which was pretty early on, it was either game 2 or 3, I think, wasn't it, in Amorim's start? The game that we lost to, it was the set pieces. We got done by very good set pieces, but actually in the game itself, we competing. We weren't threatening going forward. Don't get me wrong, but we defended okay. And I just thought with this one, I thought it'd be nice just to kind of see what happens if we put them under a bit of pressure, and we did that with the Bruno goal, which was a fabulous finish. Nice ball from Garnacho. We were clinical on that break. And as you said, the sending off when as soon as Dallo went off the ground, and I was like, oh no, recognised instantly he's on a booking. Here we go again. Moment of a poor individual decision could cost us. But then at that point, Arsenal scored pretty much almost immediately, didn't they? About 60 seconds or so after the sending off, and you thought this is only one way, surely now. But as we spoke about last week, Arsenal they don't pile on the pressure the same way the other teams do. And then, as you said, when they then got the opportunities, as Graham refers to this man in the Havertz and Maguire calling Havertz a cheating something or other, his football heritage. In front of goal, Kai Havertz wasn't great, was he, Rebecca? There was a couple of big chances, shall we say. I mean, they'd have been better with an Everton forward, shouldn't they? Well, surely wouldn't they, Arsenal? More chance.
Would they? Everton's joint leading goal scorer at Goodison is Craig Dawson, and he plays for Wolves.
Can't knock Craig Dawson.
Sign him up. Sign him up, Arsenal.
No, Havertz did have his moments. It was just... I didn't see much of it, I'll be honest. I was watching Aberdeen instead. And then turned it on and it was extra time. I was like, oh, worked this well.
That was good timing for the extra time. I mean, as the game kind of wore on, you just thought, just kind of hold in there, lads. And then I forgot about the extra time originally, and then was like, oh yeah, we've still got to do this again because can't bring another man on, funnily enough, for extra time, which is a massive shame. But again, continue to hold firm. Bayindir made some, I think I saw it from Graham in the chat, Bayindir redemption game. Well, yes, because he had, let's be fair, a bit of a stinker when we played Tottenham in the EFL Cup a little while back. But the penalty save, I mean, it wasn't a worse penalty from Odegaard, was it, Grimmy? It was a bang in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I can't remember who said it in the BBC punditry, but basically it's like one of those where you have to commit early and make sure you're diving all the way, otherwise you ain't getting anywhere near it. And I mean, he's a tall lad, but even so, that right in the corner wouldn't have been the easiest to get anywhere near to. So for him to save it was, it was fantastic. And the saves he made during the match as well, like the one down low to Declan Rice, I think was probably the pick out one really. And then the header that came at him. I mean, he was man of the match and rightly so.
It was indeed. And then it went all the way to the penalty shootout. And Ruben's tricky Reds managed to scrape through some very good penalties. Very good penalties.
Yoros was surprising to me. I don't know why. I thought he might put this over the bar or something, but it was, again, right in the corner when it didn't need to be because Raya was already halfway across the other way. But yeah,
I'd love to know Raya's technique for one of the penalty saves because he looks like he lags as he jumps.
Yeah, there was two of them.
Like his AI.
There was two that were a little bit bunny in a meadow, weren't they? Sort of pinged across to the side of the goal in a very strange action. But who am I to question David Moyes' technique? But it did look a bit strange. Graham's first penalty Odegaard has ever missed. There you go. That's one for Bayindir's bio, isn't it? There you go.
Wasn't there a stat like it was like the first time a keeper had saved a penalty in the match and then in the penalty shootout in the same game?
Was it?
Yeah.
Bill Krellin did that in the previous FA Cup round.
I'm sure there was some sort of statistic.
The penalty in the match after.
There might have been some specifics to it rather than just being a penalty in the match and extra time. I'll have to look that one up.
It could have been. I mean, I was seeing similarities to the 99 semi-final with a sending off. There was a penalty late on in the game to win it. And then, we didn't get Ryan Giggs' hairy chest, but we did get a penalty shootout.
Thanks the Lord, really. Which
is with a Lisandro Martinez skip and a jump of his penalty as well. defence centre-backs and their penalties, I tell you. Brentford 0, Manchester City 2. Foden scored his second goal.
Oh, great. Here we go again. Well done, City. Super happy for you. Yeah.
Congratulations, everyone. Everybody is over the moon for you. So yeah, Manchester United qualified. Arsenal out. So we'll turn it to Arsenal now. Rebecca, what does this mean for Arsenal? Is the pressure on Arteta in a huge way now? Because they obviously had the EFL Cup game against Newcastle, but they're 2-0 down going to St James's Park, where they haven't got a great record. And they're also now out of the FA Cup. They're off the pace in the Premier League, still, not out of it. And, they'll say they're in the Champions League, but they've never won that competition in their history. So what's where's it looking like for Arsenal at the moment?
I think the pressure is building on him because I think every Arsenal fan has expected them to win at least something this season, whether that was fighting for the league, FA Cup, or like whatever. I think they did want something out of this season. We saw the attempt that they had at the Prem last season, so it is one of them where I think expectations were quite high, and to see the drop off from it. But then I don't think anyone expected like Nottingham Forest to currently be sat second in the league. So it's like anything can happen as seen with the current shape of the league. So it is one of them. I do think the pressure is rising, but it's one of them. This is the most random Premier League table I think we've had in a long time in terms of like the top 8. So it's like Bournemouth have been up there as well.
Bournemouth have been up there, and at the moment, performing another phenomenal result currently at the moment. If they can see that, there can't be long left in that game, I don't believe. Just trying to look at the live where it is at the moment. Can't be that long left in that game. But also, when talking of Bournemouth, the injuries that they've had too, to be putting it to Chelsea at the moment is pretty impressive. But back to Arsenal, Graham says Arsenal's trophy cabinet not looking like it will be added to. We are say Lucas is having a renovation at the moment, hence why he's not on the podcast for the next couple of weeks. But he will be back. He will be back in February, and I'm sure that he's stewing with a North London derby ahead, Grimmy. What could be the repercussions of that North London derby? Because there's 2 North London teams that ain't happy at the minute.
North London could be a crater in the Great British Isles after that, depending on how it goes. Yeah, I mean, could be a hell of a game. In all honesty, as a neutral, it could be a hell of a game. Hope Spurs win it as a neutral. But yeah, it's going to be a great game, and obviously there's pressure on both managers right now, and yeah, who knows how that's going to go? Because Spurs could do what Spurs do and turn up and get a 4-0 like they did against City, or they could capitulate and Arsenal could batter them 6-0 or something, or anything in between, really.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one to call. Is that tomorrow or Thursday? I'm just confused.
Tomorrow, I think.
I don't even know what day of the week it is. It's been that kind of week. So it is tomorrow. It's the 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. You
say that, Sam, but I convinced myself it was Monday earlier on. I was like, I'm on the pod, it's a Monday. And I went, no, it's a Tuesday, Stu. Tuesday.
I would have believed you, Grimmy. I would have believed you. Literally, you could have told me anything and I would have gone with that today. Yeah, Monday sounds good. Monday sounds good. I've clicked the wrong stream button for crying out loud. This was the lower league for the first 20 minutes and now it's on Premier League. So it's all going on tonight. All going on tonight.
Celtic have just scored.
Oh,
Brentford have one back.
Brentford had one back. It's not Brian and Bremo by any chance for people's FPL teams.
I mean, if it is Brian and Bremo, that's good for my FPL, so I'd be very happy with it. I'm sure Spenny Chris will come in any second and tell us who it was.
It says Johan Visser here on the BBC link. But it does say deserved. That is the description of the goal. Deserved.
I thought you said dessert there for a second. I was like, oh, okay.
Or the dessert's coming, Grimmy. There's a late equaliser. I sense
there's a late equaliser.
I smell a Desmond. I smell a Desmond on the cusp.
There's one happening.
There's one happening. One happening. Spenny fan Chris is also not happy about the Celtic goal. So go 2-1 down to Rebecca was less out there with the reaction.
The message said, "Oh shucks, everybody." If you wonder what it says,
it did. If you're on audio, it said, "Oh poops." That wasn't good at all. Oh bother.
Oh dear.
There is still time. There is still time. Stuff could happen anywhere. I've currently got the Liverpool game on, and Arnie Slot he's pacing a little bit. Liverpool It's 2-2. I told you.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Unbelievable. We said a Desmond was coming. Is it Ryan Astley? Come on, Ryan
No,
Astley.
it isn't.
Oh. Does Ryan Astley ever do anything?
2 assists in 3 matches, I'll tell you.
I'll tell you. There you go. Sorry.
Desmond. 2-2. Look at that. I presume we're all talking about the Dundee game. Own goal. An own goal. Look at this.
I don't care. They've scored.
We've got, yeah, give
have
it to
bounced it off the
Astley.
referee's
It's an own
head.
goal. That player doesn't want it. Give it to Astley. It's only fair. It's only fair. So I can't even remember what the list of what else we were going to talk about. But as we were talking, say Brentford, Man City, as it's going on, that was actually that was a topic that we had coming out of Manchester City's 8-0 win at Salford, which we won't talk about because that kind of was what it was. But one of the big things post match, Rebecca, was Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker and Pep Guardiola coming out and saying he wants to go. He said he wants to move abroad. What's your initial take on that one?
That he'll be off to Saudi as soon as he can. I feel like that's just where all of them, when they decide to leave, that they want to go. I mean, he's not been happy for a while, has he? And I mean, like, there have been... Oh, God. Sorry, Celtic were on the attack then. There have been...
Focus, Rebecca. Focus.
Oh, right. They've got throwing. It's fine. It has been a very odd situation for him. I mean, we've all seen like the backlash that he's been receiving online, which isn't right. What people have been saying about him, like City are in a very rough patch at the minute, but you can't really just target one player for it. It's a team effort at the end of it. But can't blame him for wanting to look elsewhere. I mean, City aren't City at the minute. I mean, they're winning tonight, so they've kind of just trumped what I've said in a way. But
for now.
Just jinx City on podcast.
I know. I'll click on it and they'll be 3-1 up or something.
It'll be 3-1 up and then be Kyle Walker will come on or something. And
he's not in the squad, is he?
No, he's not. Oh, I don't believe so. I think, to be fair, like as Rebecca said, like it's been coming to this. I'm surprised come the timing of it, but it is January, so players are trying to sort of move and do bits. But there's been a lot of stuff with Kyle Walker off the pitch, in terms of stuff. Some not his fault, some kind of his fault, I think. And there's been just a case of he wants to leave it all behind, go aboard. He's at that age. City, I've had this kind of in the past when they, it's always difficult getting rid of a player, I think, that's been there for a long time. So I think in some aspects it probably helps City, the fact that he said, look, it's time for me to go. And they know. But yeah, the timing of it was kind of strange. Grimmy, what's your takes on Kyle Walker out? Timing right?
I mean, he clearly feels it's the right time. I mean, to be fair, with the way City have been going, it's probably due. Again, it's probably going to be painful for him to sit there for another 4 or 5 months and play in that team the way it is at the minute. And if Pep's looking at reinforcements in January, which the reports certainly seem to suggest, then Walker might be one of those casualties who might have to sit on the bench for 6 months. And if, like Rebecca says, if a Saudi team comes in offering you 500 grand, 600 grand a week, are you going to do that? Or are you going to sit on the bench for 4 months and just not play? Not saying that Saudi is the right place to go, but it sounds like there's not many offers out there for him at the minute. So maybe that's the option, and that's where he's going. So yeah, but it's one of those things. He's in his mid-30s now, I think. So it's not like he's still anywhere near what his prime would be. And if he is, he's going to slowly get worse as the years go by. So for City, it's probably the right move. For him, he probably thinks it's time. So let him crack on, basically.
As it seems like a time. He's 34, is Cole. He'll be 35 in May.
What an old man.
Exactly. That's just a horrendous. So imagine being even older than that. Wouldn't that be?
I know, right?
Christ.
I'm 2 years younger than him, so I feel all right.
Oh, you're living the dream. I'm 10 years younger than him, so I've got plenty of time. It's fine.
Yeah. 10 years younger. Yeah, you and me both, Sam.
This is it. There's a 2 there somewhere once upon a time. But yeah, it looks like the time. I mean, there's been a couple of scenarios this season. I mean, let's be honest, he's still pretty quick. I know there's been a lot of people sort of saying, oh, he's burnt. Look how he got burnt by Adama Traore. Look at Adama Traore when he's in full sort of whack anyway. We're not talking about he's been beaten on the school run by the lollipop lady, is he? There's some pretty impressive. But the one thing that does go
without Dorothy, she might give him a run.
She might do. She might be pacey, but it does look that's the thing that's going to go, isn't it? And he has been very reliant on his pace. I think defensively wise, the way that City play, he can mop up very well. And I think it's not the reason City are doing bad, but it's been one of the things as well that has picked up a little bit on that side on occasion, that they have conceded more than they used to. And yeah, it's pretty. It's looking like it's pretty much the case. Benny Van Christen in general, some players have been getting a lot of rubbish on social media this weekend's games. Shocking. Yeah, there's been some horrendous social media stuff. I think there was one to the Tamworth. Was it Tamworth goalkeeper? There's been to girlfriends of players, to Havertz's girlfriend. It's just been horrific. It's just like, we all love the game, but come on, as we say often on here, don't be silly. Don't be an idiot. Just, love the game and love the positive things about it. And Graham he's close to having a 5 at the front of his age. We can't believe it. We're forever young on this podcast. Forever young. Rebecca's staying very quiet here. Not getting involved with the old man talk.
They've had quite an attacking period at the minute.
At least she's honest.
She's honest. The Dundee winner could be coming. Elsewhere,
I would get distracted by Dundee, especially now it's 2-2. I didn't have this predicted at all.
There's this possibility. What a joy for everybody! They can see Rebecca's potential Dundee dream appearing in front of their eyes. On the Absolutely Lower League show, apparently, according to this title at the top, which it is not. So it's just that kind of evening. Elsewhere in the FA Cup as well, Newcastle had a scare against Bromley and they finished it off with a 3-1 win. Yeah, they did. So fair play as well to Bromley, having a good kind of go there. And if we pick up the FA Cup draws, and we remember who got who in the FA Cup draw? I forgot about it. You got Bournemouth,
Leicester, United and Leicester.
Liverpool and Plymouth, isn't it?
Yeah, Plymouth and Liverpool.
So you've got you've got Villa, Tottenham, Birmingham at home to Newcastle, Blackburn versus Wolves, Brighton, Chelsea in the former Graham Potter derby, Coventry at home to Ipswich, Doncaster Rovers, of course. Are they the lowest ranked team left? I think they might be. Against Crystal Palace, Everton, of course, Bournemouth, as Rebecca said. Exeter City, they did a bit of.
Sam.
What?
Brentford have equalised.
Yes, there is. Desmond is here. Desmond is here. If you ignore Desmond long enough, he comes along and he's come along twice. It's almost a double Desmond. There's a Desmond at Dundee. There's a Desmond.
May as well be.
Oh, what a beautiful moment. And Manchester City. Oh, what a shame for them. What a shame.
Devastated.
Go on at the G-Tech. Back to the FA Cup.
Go on. Sorry.
What else was happening? Exeter City. They beat. Who did they beat? Somebody. They beat somebody in the league above, didn't they? I can't remember. It's all gone to pot tonight. Exeter beat. It's too much. There is too much football. Exeter beat Oxford United. That was it. They beat Oxford, so they've gone through it, and they play Nottingham Forest. Currently, still 1-0 up against Liverpool as well. Leeds United versus Millwall. Oh, that sounds tasty between those two sets of fans. I can imagine that would be a good one. Leeds Millwall, Leyton Orient or Derby versus Manchester City. United versus Leicester, Manchester United, of course. Mansfield or Wigan, which looks like it's going to be Wigan against Fulham. Plymouth against Liverpool. Preston or Charlton, which sadly looks like it might be Preston, but you never know, Graham. Things can happen. Versus Wycombe Wanderers. Southampton versus Burnley. And Stoke versus Cardiff. So there you go. What a tournament. Can anyone win the FA Cup? Of course they can. Someone's going to win
Someone will win the FA Cup.
Someone will win the FA Cup. Have Man United got a shot? Is there a possibility, Grimmy? Can lightning strike twice? Or
yes.
David Moyes could win it. Could David Moyes win it?
Don't do that to me. Yeah, they could. I mean, to be fair, yeah, I think at this point, obviously you'd say Liverpool are the favourites because of how they're playing this season, but it's a cup game. Anything can happen. And again, I think the FA Cup is one of those competitions that any given day, anything can happen. So yeah, why not Everton win it? Why not Man City get knocked out by some lower league team and Liverpool crash and burn against Plymouth? Let's all dream big.
Got to dream big. Got to dream big. That is the key to absolutely everything. Oh, Liverpool have scored, for goodness sake.
Bother.
Jota has literally just come off the bench and scored.
Had to remember where I was for a second.
Oh dear, never. We're impartial, so yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so impartial.
Boo.
Partial.
Brentford just had a shot cleared off the line.
Oh, so close.
And guess who it was, Sam?
Not Brian. It
was Mbeumo.
Oh, that just not a good minute. Not a good minute at all. So we aren't doing Europe tonight at the moment because there's just been too much football to even contemplate what's going on in Europe. But Sean is here to give us the latest in the Bundesliga because why not? I'm not going to read them all out, but if you are watching on the stream, you can see all these goals going in the Bundesliga as well. It's just
that's a lot of goals.
That's a lot of goals. It's a lovely time to be alive with all this football going on. And Spain focus with a result from Italy. Just how do we cover all of this football? How do we cover?
We don't. The people watching do.
Yeah, we just sit back, and this is what happens. We don't actually talk football. We just sit here and let people give us the football news and all the talk in terms of what's going on.
Watching football.
While watching 3 different games between us. It's like Soccer Saturday, kind of.
Oh my god, we should do a Soccer Saturday.
A Soccer Saturday would be tremendous fun. I have said it would be fun to do it on the last day of a season or something. We'll get on the championship last day or something, and as everything's changing or something, there's big stakes at it. It would be pretty impressive to do. We were going to do it for the women's championship last year, but we couldn't work it all out because there were some people at stadiums. But obviously, the problem with stadiums is internet connections and Wi-Fi are not particularly brilliant. And we unfortunately don't have the same links that Sky Sports have to be able to bring people live to your screens at that time. Chris has confirmed that Desmond is in the books. It is. Brentford have come back brilliantly for 2-2 against Manchester City. And welcome to Zach. Sorry he's a bit late, but you've made it just in time for the Desmond. Hope everyone is doing well. We are now, because there's a triple Desmond. A triple Desmond's going on.
Oh my god.
Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2.
Don't let there be a fourth, Sam. He's gonna lose his edge.
We've already got a Desmond 3-3. We can't have a double Desi. That's just insanity gone completely mad. Too many Desis. Well, we haven't got the sayings for those yet. We need to think about that. But Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2. Pretty impressive. I mean, let's be honest. This game could end 2-2 as well. There's no guarantee that Nottingham Forest Liverpool might go that way. That's still got 25 minutes to go. James in the 95th minute. Reece James on the pitch for a change as well.
Getting injured.
Had a terrible run of injuries, isn't he? So he's back with it. So there we go. I mean, not really sure what else to cover. We've covered quite a lot already with stuff sort of going in. Transfers, is there anything in transfers that's picked your eye, Rebecca? Is there any rumours? Is there any rumours that Everton are doing anything in transfer window? Have you heard about that?
I really don't know. I'm not too sure. I think there's been someone linked, but I cannot remember for the life of me. There's just been a lot going on at Everton, I'll be honest.
That's true. They've probably got some other stuff to focus on. Who? What position are you focused on? Where do you think you go for first? Striker.
We need a striker. As much as I love Calvert-Lewin, we need a striker because Beto, he's not where we need him to be. Calvert-Lewin isn't. Chimetti, I think he's been injured. So, and then Neil Maupay that we sent out on loan, and I don't think he will ever return to Everton. So we definitely need a striker. And I'd also look at getting a left back because I don't think we can bring Leighton Baines out of retirement.
Player coach. I see it. I can sense it. Player coach sounds a good role. I think you just need, as Graham says here, Desmond turns up big time. You just need a striker called Desmond. That's the key. Anybody called Desmond up front, I think, is the way to goals, because Desmond is all over the goals tonight with 2-2s everywhere. Graham says it's been so quiet. I forgot the transfer window was open. Zach says everyone have a great winter break. I did. Thank you very much. Very lovely for you to ask. We did. Had a lovely winter break. Still winter. And the break seems an age ago already, but it was lovely. It was lovely. So thank you. And Spenny fan Chris says a lot of rumours about Miggy from Newcastle, Miggy Almiron, going back to MLS or going to a South American club. Probably. He's not really featured, is he, this season and a half? That wouldn't surprise me that could potentially happen. Grimmy, from a Manchester United perspective, transfer wise, are we doing anything? Do you think we'll do anything? Is it more outgoings than ingoings?
Who knows, really, because we don't know what the financial rules are saying we can and can't do. There's lots of reports about who doesn't want Rashford. There was a rumor today that apparently Garnacho's representatives have gone to meet Napoli in Barcelona. Why you wouldn't meet them in Napoli, I don't know.
They are aware they've gone to the wrong place, aren't they?
Yes, that was something I questioned myself, but apparently they knew where they were going. And then obviously there's Casemiro linked to going to Saudi. Eriksen's linked to going away as well. So if we move those 3 or 4 players off, maybe something happens. I mean, I'd hope Garnacho doesn't go. But again, when the report came out last week that everyone is up for sale, if we get the right price for him, I guess we take the money and try and do something with it. But yeah, we'll see. In terms of incomings, I think the only one that seemed to be fairly solid in terms of actual movement is Mendes from PSG, because apparently we can get him for fairly cheap, and he's a left back. So that's certainly something we're looking at. But I think it's left back in central midfield really that we're looking for, because I don't think we're going to get a decent enough striker in January to warrant spending good money on, really.
No, and I think they're going to struggle because where they've still got Højlund and Zirkzee, I'm not sure what they're doing with Zirkzee, long term, where he even fits or whether he's a striker, but that's not going to change. So then suddenly you bring someone else into the mix. As you said, I think the wing-back positions are the priority, and say centre midfielder, particularly with Casemiro likely to go and not really offering a lot. It showed a lot of the weekend he brought Collier on, didn't he, rather than Casemiro for a bit of legs.
Exactly,
so that probably tells you enough. Be interesting what they will do.
An Everton transfer. Apparently, Beto is in talks with, I think it could be, oh my God, the name I've just read it because I was like, right, I'll check.
Is it Ashley?
Beto Ashley. Desmond Beto?
Homo interested in Beto. And we have just sold one of our incredible academy players, Charlie Whittaker. I was hoping he'd only go out on loan, but we sold him permanently to Notts County. Who do Accrington play on Saturday? Notts County. Who will score against Accrington? More than likely, Charlie Whittaker.
Where does Whittaker play?
He's gone from Everton to Notts County.
No, as in position-wise, I mean.
He is attacking midfield.
Oh, he's going to score then,
yeah. More than likely.
Long range,
I'll put a fiver on
strike. You can see it. You can see it coming. One game that didn't end a Desmond, close to a Desmond, but 3-2 to West Ham, which I must have to give credit to Flash Score here, who have come up with the headline. Potter casts his spell to see. Very good.
Golf clap in the background there.
Very good. And then also as well, they've come back with the Brentford one. Brentford, of course, 2-2 Man City. Busy Bees bounce back with a late sting. Oh, they're at it. They are at it tonight. Some lovely, lovely punny headlines, which we do enjoy. And what we do enjoy, of course, is Charlotte is here. Charlotte has made it. She's sorry she's late, ended up falling asleep. Sounds like getting old. Not getting old, Charlotte. It's just,
what do you call this?
We're lucky we're even on. I clicked the wrong button. This was supposed to be the lower league show. Twitter's not working. We've had about 17 Desmonds. We've covered every competition from here to Zimbabwe. It's been an unbelievable evening. And Shah says, I hope you're all good. We are. We're doing wonderfully. Well, I'm good. Are you two good? I can't speak for you.
I'm feeling a bit Spursy.
A bit Spursy. Something you ate, was it, Grimmy? Is that
Yeah, bit Spursy.
Bit Spursy spitting on the chest. And Graham is proud of those headlines. They were very good. I did enjoy them. Anything else or anybody else before we call it an evening? It's been a funny show because we're trying to cover the football that's happening, but it's difficult to talk about these games while they are happening about how they finish. So, Grimmy, anything else from you you'd like to add on the football this week?
I just guarantee after 2 good performances, United are going to lose 2-0 to Southampton on Thursday.
Oh, don't do this to me. No, come on. Not
it's going to happen.
Not where I'm from. I can't be having any of that. That's not. I know they're having a bad season and they need a break, but that's not the break they need. It would be typical.
Southampton's only wins come against Everton. If that makes you feel any better.
I do.
It won't after Thursday.
It's just been nice. I think. I don't know what you felt, just to have like a bit of a break from the hammering all the time, like just constantly. Like, you know, we know we know nothing. It's not fixed. We know we're not. Things aren't all rosy and wonderful, but it's just nice to kind of I'd just like it to be a bit quiet for a while, slowly picking points up. No one really talks about it.
Being able to message you, Sam, during the matches and celebrating and like capital letters is truly been a joy these past couple of weeks, to be honest.
It's been a wonderful. It is. I got very happy messages rather than angry December messages of what the hell are we doing? What's happened here? What's going on? It is. It's nice. I mean, who knows? Who knows what happens next? But surely Thursday will be a good one. Graham can't find an equaliser. He can't find an equaliser. Don't tell me if Charlton equalises. Is that a Desmond, Graham?
That's a Desmond. Yeah.
Is that a Desmond? I mean,
another one.
Wouldn't that be? We're going to have to hang on here. Oh, what a save by Matt Sells, by the way. We're just going to have to hang on until the end of the Charlton game because we can't. If a Desmond happens and we go off air, that would be absolutely horrendous. So, Rebecca, any other footballing news from anywhere or anything you've heard of that you want to touch upon or mention, or, you know, Celtic Dundee? What's going on?
It's still 2-2 and Dundee.
How long's left?
Well, we're in the 75th minute.
Oh God, I thought it was like stoppage time or something. You've got ages to go.
We're not going to wait to the end of the Celtic Dundee game, but we will hold on. Graham, we're waiting on you for a Desi.
We have another Dundee derby on Monday.
No,
another one.
Yep, in the Scottish Cup.
Oh,
so there's another Dundee.
That's not a real one.
It's a practice. It's a practice one.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Isn't the Dundee Derby that the tradition is they have to walk down the road from the one stadium to the other? That's the...
Yeah. Because of how close they are. It's like the closest derby that there is.
I'd get an Uber just to be different and just to be... save my legs for the derby.
Dundee have a corner.
Graham's taunting with the city as tangerine.
Ooh.
It's
derby.
The facial expression on Rebecca there could have killed.
Could have killed. If looks could kill, could have absolutely smashed it. And Graham says, yes, the closest derby in British football, it's 50 yards across the road. It is. We'll shut some stuff down while Graham works out what's happening at the end of that Charlton game. So we hope for one more Desi. I mean, it might be one more Desi too far to ask for, but we'll see what happens. And as we do, we'll go around La Table and go to Rebecca. Rebecca, where can everybody find you for some wonderful Rebecca-based content?
You can find my personal Twitter and TikTok here, _Rebecca_Shaw_. And you can find my I'm distracted. Dundee have a coin.
This was a mistake.
This was live Premier League and Scottish games. It's all going on. It's happening. It's happening.
Madness.
Could be a time this
Dundee are beating Celtic 3-2.
Chris Kamara, what's going on? What is going on? It's all going off.
Right, sorry. Back to me. Enough
of that, Dundee. Back to me.
Yeah. You've done your bit.
Yeah. My Her Game 2 content is ASFC Her Game 2. And this weekend, we are very happy to announce that it is our dedicated Her Game 2 fixture. So there will be a lot of content being shared this week in promotion for it. So we've got some videos from the players and little throwbacks to our last 2 dedicated fixtures and some very, very fun and exciting things planned for Saturday. So they'll be very exciting to show you all. My ice hockey content is Her Game 2 ice hockey, and then anything F1, 2 and 3 is Girls in the Grandstand with the wonderful Jen, who is on the Lower League show.
She is indeed. Lots of stuff. We can catch Rebecca everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And where you also can catch Rebecca is her match report is live on the YouTube at the minute from Accrington, Liverpool, the match day experience, which you're getting a different kind of match day experience from Rebecca with Dundee today. But that was an at the stadium live match experience. Graham wants to know if we can just leave Rebecca on the stream to finish the game commentary.
Sure. Just leave her to it.
Wait for
See you there,
health,
guys. We know when we're not wanted. Let's go, Sam. Come on.
We're not required. Job done.
The best bit from my match report is when you listen to my voice before the match and after, and you can just see how much I was actually screaming at the match.
Was it a really good Sean Dyche impression?
No, it wasn't that bad. It sounded a lot worse in person. It was quite funny.
That's fair. And Grimmy, where can everybody find you and your YouTubing and your many podcasts about every sport on the planet? It's where do you get the time?
I honestly don't know. It's quite frankly the answer. So okay, let's start with the basics. So YouTube channel Saint Grimmy, as it says over here on the camera, if I've got my hands right. That's my video gaming channel, covering lots of different games, mainly sports games, but also other types as well, like your RPGs and stuff like that. I am putting a video up in the next hour or so on the latest news on PGA Tour 2K25 because that's just had a big reveal. So we'll be doing a bit of coverage on that, and then we've got my new endeavor to add to everything else. With Bragster, who Sam knows quite well from our Football Manager days and who I used to do a podcast with a while back, our wrestling podcast called Taking the Pin. So that's got the first episode up as of last Wednesday. The second one we've just recorded and will be up tomorrow. And then my F1 channel, Taking the Pit. See what I did there?
Well, hey.
See what I did there? That's currently going for a reboot. Not as many videos on there, but I am upping the frequency to about one a week or so when I can. And when the season starts, of course, there'll be one a week definitely from there. Don't think there's anything else. Absolute Football Podcast. I mean, how can I forget that? And then Grimmy16 on Twitter.
Grimmy 16. There you go. Just so many places. And I'm loving the taking the pits because I think this is it. There's just so many.
I feel like I'm taking the pits when I'm saying that many, to be honest. I feel like it should be a maximum of 2 and just leave it at that.
You do, because so I'm looking at you in that shirt. Looks like you got your seatbelt on and you're in your F1 chair there tonight. I feel you're ready to go.
It feels like it, but it's actually an NFL training top. So I do get that though with the shoulder. It does look like shoulder straps that I'm just strapped into my chair.
You're just above all sports, above all sports. And of course, if you're a wrestling fan, go and check that out because it's a very exciting time of the year with wrestling at the moment. Royal Rumbles and such, Grimmy. Royal Rumbles and such. How exciting! If EO Sky doesn't win the women's Royal Rumble, I am rioting. That's my say on the Royal Rumble. But
who would win a Royal Rumble of the Absolute Football Podcast?
Oh, who would win a Royal Rumble at Claire? Good God, Claire would destroy everybody. Let's be fair.
I feel like Char would have a good chance. She'd be digging in people's eyes, pulling people's ears out. She'd scrap.
I don't think no one would want to throw Char out. I think that would be that.
That's the other thing.
No one would want to throw Char out. I don't know. Yeah, I think there'd be somebody sneaky. I think there'd be Rebecca would be sat in the corner watching Dundee, and no one would realise she'd be in the Royal Rumble. Just off of there, and she'd be watching Dundee, and then before you know it, last one standing, she's off to WrestleMania. Job done. Job done. And Zach's he's gonna have a listen to your show, Grimmy, about F1. Isn't that wonderful?
Cheers, I
Isn't
appreciate that.
Wonderful. And so if you want to catch any of me, I am at Sam Absolute FBL on Twitter, and most of the stuff I'm doing at the moment is at Sam Absolute EFL on my YouTube channel. Done a video for a couple of weeks, but going to be doing a few more on that, mainly on the championship. I also have a TikTok at Sam Absolute EFL as well on Championship League 1 and League 2, just news, stuff that's happening, exciting stuff as and when it happens. But the main place that you can find us and all the wonderful stuff that's going on, there it is, the Absolute Football Podcast. We did win Best New Content Creator. It wasn't a dream. That did happen at the Football Content Awards back in 2024. I was there. Can confirm it happened.
We did get a recount just to double check that they hadn't voted for the wrong.
We did. Well, the ironic thing was we got Manchester City's award given to us first for I don't know, best in charges or something. I don't know what their award was for. But we have got the original, the one that has the Absolute Football Podcast written on it. And so we are coming to you on a Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. On Tuesday, it is the Absolutely Premier League, which usually has the title Absolutely Premier League when I press the right button. But we do talk Premier League on a Tuesday. On a Wednesday, Absolutely Women's Football with Freya and hashtag Team Chaos. They've got plenty to talk about. The FA Cup tomorrow. They've got lots of stuff going on in the WSL. And on Thursday it is the Rowdy Rabble. Absolutely Lower League is on Thursday with Shah and the team, and some exciting stuff as well, which tomorrow Freya is we did 2 recordings yesterday, 2, not one, there was 2 recordings going on. There's 2 bits of content coming your way. Freya's going to announce one tomorrow and Shah is going to announce one on Thursday that will be coming your way probably the weekend. I don't know, probably, maybe, possibly, potentially. Rebecca looks like she's about to have an aneurysm in the middle, so I imagine it's getting very exciting at Dundee.
She had 5 in the past hour, to be fair.
5 in the past hour. But where can you find us? On Twitter, we are at Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube, Absolute Football Podcast, and Twitch as well. On TikTok, at Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram, Absolute Football Podcast _ Blue Sky. We're there as well, Absolute Football. And on Facebook, the Absolute Football Podcast. And Zach says, hold. You've got to hold.
I don't know if he's referring to Nottingham or if he's referring to Dundee.
Oh, we're bringing on Lyle Cameron. He's back.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
There you go. And Lyle Cameron is going to see us out for the show. Thank you, Lyle. Thank you to Desmond tonight as well. Desmond has shown up in a big way in all the game. Thank you to all of you wonderful people in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Absolutely brilliant to have you on board. Thank you to Rebecca. Thank you to Grimmy. Thank you to football. And thank you to all the games. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll catch you soon. We'll catch you next Tuesday. I think Josh is back, actually, the return of Joshua next Tuesday. So there's something to look forward to and mark in your calendar. But for now...
And I won't be here, thankfully.
I won't be. And there'll be no Dundee.
There'll be no Dundee. Grimmy and Josh are the same person. That's why you never see them in the same room at the same time.
Except from one person has hair.
Oh, he's gone for the low blow, an early 2025 low blow. I'm sure Josh will do the same next week. I'm sure he would. But we will catch you all on the next one. Take it easy. Take care. And bye-bye for now.